A team of registered nurses prepared for their jobs on a weekday afternoon by assembling the new gas masks they ordered online. Critical care nurse Christina Kelly helped her colleagues attach the magenta filters.
So they point up directly like that, and then down.
The respirators are part of their toolkit not for the hospital, but the streets. The group has become a regular presence at ongoing protests over racial injustice and works with street medics to provide licensed care.
So they'll radio or text us if there's somebody in the crowd that needs assistance.
Kelly, who holds a doctorate in nursing practice, launched the volunteer task force to ensure everyone had access to aid.
As a nurse, we can't just take care of people that are in the hospital. We're also responsible for the communities that we serve, the population.
Kelly saw the need firsthand back in late May. She attended a downtown San Diego protest against police brutality to watch what was going on. Protesters ran when police used flashbangs, pepper spray, and rubber bullets to disperse crowds. And Kelly was concerned as a medical responder.
I just saw all of these hazards, like people could trip, they could fall. I saw head traumas. We didn't actually see head traumas, but you can see that in the making.
She feared the sheer size of the crowds and the road closures meant emergency response teams couldn't reach someone if they were in need. She rallied her colleagues to put licensed professionals on the ground at as many demonstrations that they knew about. They're now invited directly by organizers who are often in their teens and 20s.
So they started seeking us out when they would see us there.
So far medically, Kelly says injuries have been minimal.
Dehydration, it's been exhaustion, it's been sun exposure, heat exhaustion. So where we've had to give water, we've seen bike falls because there are some demonstrators that are on bikes and skateboards.
And they've distributed masks and hand sanitizer to keep people safe during the pandemic. But their backpacks are prepared for any situation with the supplies that they provide themselves.
Scissors, ponchos, Band-Aids, steri strips, saline wash.
Kelly notified her employer and the San Diego chief of police about the role they'd serve. The American Nurses Association California chapter endorsed the task force and used Kelly's letter as a template for nurses across the country.
So that any other nursing task force that wants to write a letter to their local chief of police to let them know of their intentions to be present at demonstrations, that they have a platform to do so.
Task force member Laura Chechel says they don't only walk behind demonstrators to provide care, but to support the fight against racism. The American Nursing Association's Code of Ethics says nurses have an obligation to social justice to reduce health disparities.
Our voice is valued by people. You know, when you say you're a nurse, people sort of listen to what you have to say. And, you know, you need to get out there and you need to speak up for what's right and what's appropriate in your communities.
A recent demonstration in City Heights included task force member Nicole Ward's own daughter.
It's better when she's with her mama than out here by herself.
19-year-old Kiara Ward says her reason for marching is simple.
I'm a cosplayer, so I get a lot of hate because of my skin color. So I often get called the N-word a lot, and I want to protest because I feel like I have a right to just exist without being hated on.
Demonstrators have marched against that kind of injustice for weeks in San Diego. An early June protest drew thousands that filled streets on an hours-long trek through the city. A KPBS reporter was live streaming the event online when a young woman collapsed.
We might have an emergency here or something.
The location and sea of people made it difficult for emergency responders to reach her. Kelly and the task force were there and rushed in.
That medical team that we were just talking to, they are working on that woman right now.
Taryn Mento.
She was talking to them and they're about to help her up.
KPBS News.
That's why they have the medic team out here.